Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fridays with Father. It's good to be with you again, virtually. Um, just grateful for this opportunity to connect with you each week, at least in this form. I have to tell you the phone office hours are going fairly well. I want to again encourage you if you would like to chat, if you'd like to make an appointment, just feel free to call me or email me, and the phone number is posted on the website for that as well as my email address. I want to check in with you about a couple of things that are coming up this week that helps us to get outside of ourselves a little bit, I think. I know for myself it's easy to get trapped into focusing on what this time in the pandemic means to me, what it means to my routine and my work schedule and the mass schedule and getting some walks in when the weather is decent. But there's also an important dimension to this that is fueled by our faith, which encourages us to pray for one another. That's one of the most important things that we can do in the midst of this crisis. And so we've posted on our website a sign-up sheet for us to do just that. To pray for each other. So I encourage you to go in and maybe just reserve some time on that sheet for your own prayer for our community. For those who are suffering from this pandemic, for those who have died, pray for those who are first responders on the front lines, for doctors and nurses and emergency workers, and for those who are in essential businesses, those who continue to bring us our food, those who work in grocery stores who really are putting themselves at risk each time they come to work. So that prayer form is on our website, and I just encourage you to take advantage of that and to sign up for some prayer time. Another way to make sure that we're aware of those who are struggling, and especially those who, even before this pandemic, were struggling, we want to have a conversation with some folks from charitable organizations here in the Vancouver area who are reaching out to those on the margins. And so at 1 o'clock on this Sunday, we're going to have a conversation. It'll be live streamed over our Facebook page. And the participants in that will be somebody from SHARE, someone from Council for the Homeless, someone from the Clark County Food Bank, and also someone from the St. Vincent de Paul Society. So that's 4 groups that are responding to those who are in need, who have a long history of reaching out to those on the margins. So be a way to inform ourselves about what's happening here in our region, to reach out to those who are in particular need right now because of this pandemic. So I'd really encourage you to join us. That's at 1 p.m. This Sunday, live streamed on our Facebook page. I also want to update you on our sister parish relationship with St. Bernadette's because, as you know, the developing world and Africa in particular are probably a couple of weeks behind where we are as this pandemic explodes. And so while we might be on the peaking end and perhaps even seeing a decline in the number of cases, Africa is on the other end, and Kenya is one of those countries. So we have stayed in touch with our brothers and sisters at St. Bernadette's and also at Christ the King. Father Christopher, who's the pastor there, who we know well as well. So they are all doing well. They are also in a stay-home situation, so they're not able to celebrate public masses either. But I just exchanged some email with Father Mike, who's the pastor at St. Bernadette's, and also Simon Juma, who is the Pastoral Council president there. And they're doing well in terms of this time. So again, we just continue to keep them in our prayers. Some good news that I'd like to share with you. A number of months ago, we allocated some funds that come through contributions that are made by parishioners. We allocated some funds for two projects of the Catholic Women's Association at St. Bernadette's, which is really a thriving organization there and in other parishes in Kenya. They really help to keep people going in some ways and keep them connected to the faith community. Well, when we were in Kenya back in October, we asked the Catholic Women's Association what were some projects that we could help with that might be an outreach into the larger community. And they came up with two, and we were able to fund both of those. So one of those is what we're calling affectionately Cows for Widows program. And this really came from the women there, that if we could purchase cows for the particularly marginalized people in Kenya who are widows, like it was true in the time of Jesus and in the Old Testament. Widows can often be, in the developing world, some of the most vulnerable and marginalized people because they have often very little source of support or income. So in purchasing a cow for a widow, she now has a source of income. So through the milk. And so we've done that, sent them the funds for that, and they will begin that project. Secondly, there is a need in Kenya once they are able to begin gathering as a community again, that they have lots of community gatherings in people's homes and in their yards, but there's often no place for people to sit. So at a very reasonable price, the Catholic Women's Association would like to start this work where they rent out some chairs to people in the community around St. Bernadette's in Samoa that rent out these chairs that they can use for their parties. The women are convinced that this is a real need in the community, and that the community would be happy to pay some nominal fee for rental, and then it will provide some income for the Catholic Women's Association that they can then disperse in the community in various ways. So we were able to send them money to purchase those chairs as well. So I just wanted you to be aware, and for us to begin, if not begin, to continue thinking about those who might be in more difficult situations than we are in the midst of this pandemic. So again, I invite you to join us at 1 o'clock for a good conversation on Sunday afternoon. And then just keep our brothers and sisters of St. Bernadette's in Samoa and all throughout Kenya in your prayers this week. I look forward for you seeing me on Sunday at the 9 a.m. Mass. I wish I could see you, but I'm comforted by knowing that you're able to celebrate Mass with us, and I'm grateful for all of the expressions of gratitude that you've sent us for those liturgies. That's it for now. I want to let you know that I'm going to do a special video early in the week, next week. Emily De La Torre, who's a parishioner here and also a family counselor, made a presentation to the deanery priests last week that was very helpful in terms of some strategies to navigate this time, both as individuals and as families. So I want to share some of Emily's insights with you next week. So look for that video early next week. Okay, that's it, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday. God bless.